Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the Sixth Form panel room. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Charlotte Sutton. I'm one of the head of Sixth Forms here at Beeds. And I'm joined by today Taf Mapandawana, who is one of our housemasters, and our two deputy heads of schools. So we've got Luke and Ella. So what I'm going to do now is just allow everybody just to take some time to introduce themselves.
Good morning. My name is Taf Mapandawana, and I'm the housemaster of Charleston House, which is one of our girls' houses. I've been a part of the school for 15 years and broadly been associated with about 5 or 6 of the other houses, so quite experienced with working with a lot of the day pupils.
Ella, do you want to go next?
Hi, my name is Ella Gordon, and I've been at the school for 3.5 years, and I came from Gildridge House in Eastbourne. I'm in Charleston House, and I'm studying history, English literature, and politics. And then
Luke, over to you.
Hi, my name's Luke. I'm a weekly boarder in the upper sixth, and I'm in Stud House at the moment. Before Beeds, I joined in year 9 from Marlborough House, and at the moment I'm studying maths, Spanish and media.
Thank you. Okay, brilliant. So we're going to start with some questions, some sent in by parents, some that are kind of more frequently asked. So hopefully this will give you a really good insight into the sixth form. So yeah, let's take it away with our first question.
Thank you. So the probably most sensible place to start would be looking at the main benefits of joining Beeds in the sixth form. Charlotte, over to you.
So I'd probably start with the teaching, obviously. We have quite small class sizes and we have dedicated, highly qualified teachers, as you'd expect, they're specialists in their subject. We also have a really big emphasis on the co-curricular and enrichment programme. So my job is dedicated to this. So we place quite a large importance on educating students both inside and outside of the classroom. So we believe what happens in kind of both spheres is really, really important, especially for preparing you for your life beyond Beeds. So character traits such as resilience, leadership, public speaking skills, and independent study skills, we place quite a large emphasis on all the way through every student's sixth form life. We have master classes as part of our co-curricular programme. We have a specific Oxbridge support network with one-to-one mentoring. And then we have quite a large sixth form academic team, led by Jason Henham and David Cheshire. We've got myself in charge of co-curricular and engagement. Then we have a careers specialist, Deborah Franks. We have Mary Leggett for community engagement. And then Paul Gibbs in higher education and Dino Dozig in international education. So we have lots of different people to cover all of these kind of specific parts of the sixth form, and we think that that's really helpful for students. Mr. Mapandawana, what would you say is your highlight?
I think the Beeds diploma that we introduced recently has really been a positive initiative. It's allowed the pupils to experience a lot of things away from the classroom and to record these achievements in leadership, volunteering, and it's the sort of thing that will be very useful for them when they're looking at future careers.
Fantastic. So I know that now, Ella, Luke, you're kind of getting towards the end of your time in the sixth form. It's scary. But can you tell me what have been the benefits for you so far? Ella, do you want to start us off?
So sort of like you said, I'd say the teaching and the fact we're in small class sizes means you get this better support between yourself and your teacher. And I'd also say how Bees are able to cope with the fact that we've all got a lot of different interests outside of the classroom, and the teachers are able to offer support and understand that a lot is expected of us and sort of cater to the fact that we have other things on our plate.
Fantastic. Luke, and how about you?
Personally, for me, I really value the extra freedom that sixth form brings to the students. There's a lot more, I think, freedom in choice of what you can pick and do. And obviously with study periods, you can select your own uniform. You feel a lot more like an adult, and the teachers also help you with that. And they respect you more, you feel more responsible, and you really feel more independent with all the different things you're doing in sixth form.
Thank you, guys. So I know both of you have mentioned a lot about the support that you get, but Charlotte, could you be more specific in talking about the support we offer in relation to university applications and careers? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that we're looking at right from the start of the sixth form. And we have a range of different speakers coming in. We have careers workshops, and we have drop-in sessions, masterclasses and seminars, because there's such a wide breadth of different things that students could go into. And I think that when maybe you're at the end of upper fifth, when you're coming from year 11 to the sixth form, there are a lot of opportunities you just don't know about, you haven't thought about yet. And so part of that is just exploring what is coming next. So Jason Henham, the head of sixth form for academic, is incredible at helping students to select courses which really make sure that they're on the right path, whatever that path may be, whether they know exactly what they want to do or they're not entirely sure yet. And as I've said before, we have lots of specialists looking at applications for, say, institutions, whether they're in the UK or abroad. So students have lots of different kind of people they can go to get that advice and that information. Of course, as well, there's your tutor who will give you one-to-one advice. You have Deborah Franks, and as part of Future Week, which Deborah Franks leads, our careers advisor, there's a lot that you're opened up to. Now, last year, of course, with online learning, this was virtual. So it meant that we had over 70 different courses for students to choose from, which was really great. And because they were recorded, they could go back and look at lots of different things again. So this is something that we're looking at in the future, and has meant that we've set up lots more kind of online events which students can pick and choose from throughout the kind of week, every week across the year now, which is much more exciting and accessible, which I think has really, really helped us. And, you know, there's lots of different things you could do. So whether you're, I don't know, Francesca last year looking to go to Oxbridge and has gone off to do psychology, whether you're Tom thinking about a football scholarship at Dartmouth, or you're Jasmine thinking about going on to do an apprenticeship in media, there's so much support out there, and we really focus on the individual to help them get the support they need to go on and achieve what they want to. Luke, could you tell me a little bit more about your plans after BEADS? What are you thinking about?
So at first I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. I was a bit stuck between the idea of an apprenticeship or university, but with BEADS actually, and especially in Futures Week, it really opened up my options and ideas. I mean, there were loads of courses, as Miss said. There was like cooking to basic car maintenance to talks from massive conglomerates across the world, and it was really fascinating. And after all of that, I came to the conclusion I did want to go to university. And what was really helpful was the personal tutor support. And with all the teachers helping me, I managed to narrow down my options to the course I wanted and the 5 universities just in 1 week. And I think that's really great.
Thank you, Luke. Ella, how did the sixth form team help you with your university applications?
So I'd say quite similar to Luke, Futures Week was quite a big thing for me. I do lots of humanities-based subjects, and I thought I'd want to go into something humanities. But then I decided during Futures Week that I'd quite like to do law, and hopefully with a study abroad. So during Futures Week, the last day we did a personal statement writing workshop, and I finished basically. I just needed to get back to school and have it read through. And this gave me the whole summer to prepare for an LNAT, which I'd have to do. And this is like an external exam for law. And these were amazing at helping prepare me for that. And I was successful in it. And I did well enough to get into, get an offer from Bristol, which is amazing. So I'd say Futures Week and then the summer and the first term at BEADS has really helped me secure what I want to do later.
Awesome. Thank you, Ella. The next question is one that we get a lot of from the new pupils in particular who are joining the sixth form, along with the pupils who've been at BEADS for a long time, and they tend to worry about how they're going to be integrated and how they're going to feel settled and welcome. Charlotte, what do we put in place to support this integration?
And so I totally understand what a big deal this is, especially if you're coming from somewhere abroad, maybe if you're coming just down the road. It's massive to come to a new school. And I know that Ella would have felt this when she joined, and Luke would have been the same in the first year. But we do so much really to integrate students. The sixth form is a great chance for everybody to kind of have a fresh start, whether you've been at BEADS for the last 3 years, 2 years, or whether you're new that year. So we have about 50 to 60 students who are externally joining the school. And so we have loads of different things that I'm in charge of putting on. And team building can sound horrendous, so we try to kind of steer away from that and think about actually, well, what do students at this age want the time to do? And that's basically to create spaces to get to know each other. So we try to do things quite informally. We try to make sure that students mix within their houses, within the sixth form as a whole, and then also across houses as well. So we do things from team building at Bushy Wood, which is quite good fun. It's like an outdoor adventure day, which students really enjoy. It pushes them beyond their limits, and it just means that you get to kind of see people in a new light, including staff, which is very exciting. We also kind of have a welcome barbecue. And throughout that kind of first term, we do lots of different events. So some are more academic, like debating, and some are more sporting events. And so we have a lot of different things kind of going on, and we see it as a role of the senior prefects really get involved in helping students settle in within their houses and within the sixth form. And then we have social events. So for example, last year we had the Great Gatsby themed formal meal for the Australian bushfires. We had this sleep out for warming up for the homeless, which is really important. So there's so many different things that students can get involved with kind of for that, which just makes them feel settled and part of the community as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Charlotte. What kind of things can I do as part of the co-curricular program when I come in at the sixth form?
So there is so much that you could get involved with, and I'm sure that Luke and Ella will attest to this. Whether we're online learning or whether we're in school, there's over a kind of 100 different activities that you can do. There's way too many to list, and it's a really kind of crazy thing to try and get your head around when you first get to Beats, because the breadth of what's on offer and the quality is incredible. And it's kind of like nothing I've ever encountered before. So obviously there are core sports. You've got tennis, you've got hockey, football, then you've got things like sailing, you've got performing and visual arts, you've got bread baking, you've got legat and performances and cabaret, you've got specific sixth form drama productions that are put on, then you've got the more academic things like preparing for Oxbridge and debating, the Intergalactic Space Challenge competitions, and then you've got so many different things that you could get involved with. There's basically something for everyone, and we really try to take advantage of the exactly where we're placed. So we have such a beautiful setting. We like students to kind of get outside and enjoy that too, which I think especially in the sixth form is amazing, because you can find yourself just relaxing by the lake and things, which is great fun. Yeah.
Thank you. I know you've been a part of the school for a long time now, but if we look at just the sixth form, what sort of activities have you been associated with since you joined the sixth form?
As Miss Sutton said earlier, you change quite a lot from your GCSEs to your A-levels, and I think that sort of showed with my interests. Prior to sixth form, I was interested in lots of sport, etc. And then I decided, although I still love sport, I really enjoyed the idea of maybe doing some debating and exploring passions. I have a passion for the environment, and the various Beads programs were able to allow me to do amazing things and go and debate at different schools and sort of like question my knowledge and sort of develop my arguments and etc. So yeah, I think the activities program was sort of vital in making me a well-rounded person.
Thank you. Luke, have you experienced a sort of a similar transition from your year 11 through into the sixth form with your interests?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think it's easy to say I was quite like Eloise and pinned down with sport at the start, and I sort of just limited myself a bit to football and tennis. But obviously, as I matured, started to look at other activities and something that could spark an interest. And like Ella, I joined our Eco Schools activity, which is focusing on improving our school's carbon footprint. And I also explored like cookery a bit, and I think puzzle making even at one point, which was a bit of fun. But yeah, no, there's lots on offer and you've got to try it all.
Splendid. Thank you, Luke. The next question sort of looks at the house system, and that's one that I'm going to take on directly because I am involved in that area. Now, the house system at Beads is central to everything that happens in the school. From the first day you arrive, you are going to feel a part of what is effectively a school within a school. We have 10 different houses separated by gender at this point. Now, when you join the house in sixth form, you will immediately be struck by the level of respect an adoration, I call it, that you will get from the younger pupils. They will immediately see you as being particularly grown up. They will look towards you for support. They'll look at you for encouragement. And it's going to be really important that you wrap your head around the fact that you are now a senior member of the school. The way you interact with your teachers and your tutors is going to be very, very different. They're going to be assisting you with a number of your applications, your subject choices, your support in the extra sessions. All of that will be coordinated through the house and the tutors. Speaking of the tutors, you will be in a small tutor group with about 7 to 10 people in your tutor group, and your tutor will look after you and make sure that any questions that you have, any questions your parents might have, are directed to the people that can answer them. So Luke and Ella, I'll just pass over to you to give us sort of personal experience with how you found the house system over the last 5 years, and in particular, when you've joined the sixth form. I'll start with Ella, please.
So the house to me is very important. It sort of makes up Beads. It's a place it's sort of a separate environment from the school, and you go there sort of to see your friends and to chat to your tutor or your teachers that are in-house. And I think I've made a great group of friends within my tutor. There's only 9 of us actually, but we're really close. We all go through the same things. It's a chance to discuss. And I think it's just really important, and the integration between houses is only something that's getting better as Beads goes on. And there's lots of different activities. Even in lockdown, we've come up with ways to keep the communication going between the years, which I think is really important.
Thank you, Ella. And Luke, from a boarding perspective, because you're in a boarding house, how's that been for you?
I mean, I've really enjoyed the experience so far. When I joined year 9, I'd never really boarded before, so obviously a bit nervous when I first came, but Stud really made me feel welcome because all the boys were super friendly and just everyone was supporting you really if you were even feeling a bit homesick or that. And sooner or later, it became like a second home, as cringy as it sounds. And now it's just a big brotherhood, Stud, and everyone really gets on. It's a place you can really feel comfortable if you're slightly stressed about your studies or something else. And personally, I think it's one of the best parts of Beads.
Thank you, Luke. We're nearly out of time now, but there's just one more thing I'd like to ask, a little bit unfair perhaps to Luke and Ella, but if you could look back at your time in Beads, what would be the one highlight you might have? Ella?
I'd say sixth form has been my highlight of Beads, and there's no one way for me to define the experience. It could, like, the friends that I've met will be friends for life. But before lockdown, I really enjoyed English trips we went on. We went on a number of trips to London to see lots of different plays, and I liked the idea that learning had begun to extend beyond the curriculum, and we were able to go and see these amazing performances of books we'd studied. So I'd say that was something I really enjoyed at the time.
Thank you. And Luke?
Yeah, I think I would agree with Eloise as well there, saying the trips were really amazing in my opinion. For Spanish, I went to Salamanca for an exchange, which was really incredible. And for media, I managed to go all the way to New York, which is something not many schools offer. And although it's quite hard to, I guess, set a particular highlight, I think the best part about Beads is opportunity. There's so much on offer and you've just got to try it all really.
Well, thank you both so much, and thanks to TAF as well. I really hope that you found this useful, and we'd really encourage you to come and see the school site, to come and have a wander around and kind of get a real feel for what we're about. And that just leaves me to say thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you soon in person.